Here we are. Here we are. Brighton 1, Leeds United 0. Our first defeat of the season. And I think, let's be honest, we need to be humble in defeat. We'll have to look at this match tonight and think we weren't good enough to get the win. It's that simple. I don't think we were good enough. I want to know what you think in the comments. Because really, before the game, I thought, yeah, we're going to win 2-1. We have not beat them there since League One. Maybe it was a bit of naivety of me. Maybe I thought after Chelsea, and I think a lot of us, maybe after the Chelsea game, we maybe got a little bit carried away. And we'll forget that history with Brighton. We'll forget that, we don't score at the 𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐍. We don't win at the 𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐍. I think essentially the first 60 minutes of that game, we were so lucky not to have conceded. Listen, before we go too deep into it here, make sure you do smash that like button for me. It's right there. Boom. Just do that for us. I'm going to just go through your comments and stuff. Let me know how you're feeling after that defeat. Are you really, really fuming at it? Are you a bit annoyed? Let me know. I want to know. 𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐍 Central. What's the crack, mate? I hope you're well. Our passing was atrocious. We could not connect a single pass. Yeah, it was not great. It wasn't great tonight. The passing was not great. Notorious Nemo, I think, check the ref's bank account. Yeah, I want to talk about the referee in a bit as well. Hannah Lucy, how's it going? Very poor today. Why so many long balls? Martin 33. And yet, you know what? Hannah Lucy's made a point back down to reality today. And that's why I'm saying we have to be humble in this defeat. We'll have to look at this and say, right, Brighton's been in this league a lot longer than us. Their players are a lot more seasoned in this league, especially with our new players as well. So, yeah, I don't think we played dreadful. I just don't think we played as good as we should be able to. I don't think we played as good as I know we're able to. And that's the problem for me. Alison Adams, how's it going, Alison? Yeah, referee was a disgrace. I'm not allowed to say too much on referees because as a coach, I get into trouble whenever I talk about the referees at our games. So I have to behave myself. Danny Rumsey, yeah, let me flash this one up. Let's look at perspective, folks. It could have been a Bournemouth score. And let's be honest, in that first 60 minutes, Meslier pulled off some fantastic saves. Tyler Adams pulled us out of some really dodgy holes. And really, that match could have had a scoreline similar to the Bournemouth-Liverpool game. It really could have. It really, really could have. So, yeah, listen, a draw was there for the taking. Alex Parker, you've said it yourself there. A draw was there. And I think once I post the armchair fan cam up, you'll see for yourself, my reaction to it was Rodrigo was on for a chance. It deflects off a defender and goes Brighton's way. And then they end up getting up the pitch and scoring from it. So that is the typical Leeds luck, where we go from we should score here to how are we getting beat 1-0 right now? The last 30 minutes of the game, for me, was there for us to pull a draw back easily. It was really there for us to pull a draw back. I just don't. I honestly, it's hard to see what happened there. Jesse Marsch, I want to just point out, begging the referee to give him a yellow card. He begged the referee to give him a yellow card. Like, he just knew it's like, it was almost like Jesse Marsch was looking at the referee going, mate, you are shit at your job. Go ahead, give me a yellow card because you have been shit all day. The referee was awful. Awful. We really did. And how he gives Jesse a yellow card for throwing the ball on the pitch and walking onto the pitch. And yes, Jesse giving him a bit of grief. Moments later, Cine is brought down horrendously, and that's equivalent to that. That's a yellow card. There's no consistency there. I'm sorry, but if Jesse gets a yellow card for walking to the sideline and throwing the ball on, then surely that tackles a red. I'm just looking at it from the referee's mindset. It just, I don't know. Some of the players clearly seem to need a bit more time. The back line for me today, I see a few comments coming in about the back line. So let me see. What are your thoughts on the back line? A few people digging out Rasmus. I disagree. I think the weakest, personally, for me, our weakest link in the back line today was, of course, Diego Llorente. See, before I go into it, I like this comment here. Yeah, thank you very, very much. Don't overreact to this. Why are people's overreacting? Oh, we need this, we need that. I can't wait the Bills back. Bill Eiling's not getting back in this team anytime soon. Just saying. Chelsea, we have overreacted a lot. It's easily done, folks. We beat, and we didn't just beat Chelsea. We schooled them. I don't care what Tommy Tuchel on the bus says. Tommy Tuchel is still insisting that we beat them through their mistakes. No, sir. We do need a massive, massive reaction this Tuesday. But I'll guarantee you now there'll be people calling for Jesse's head right now. 1 loss in 4. This is the best start to a Premier League campaign we have had in years. I am still confident and have belief in our American overlords, as per se. Chris Kelly, thanks very much, Mucker, for jumping on and joining me here. What I just said, all about how we react on Tuesday. Diego, yeah, strike was caught out a few times as well. Rodrigo I think Rodrigo just seemed desperate to get another goal. Was there some sort of record he was going for and the team wanted him to get it? Because for me, it seemed like every time someone had the opportunity to score, they were trying to give it to Rodrigo. And I'll come back to that chance where Cine was in the right position. He intercepts the ball. Beautiful fed through pass. His vision was great to get it through to Aaronson, who then decides to, instead of shooting, try and get it through to Rodrigo. And I don't understand that. I don't understand. He should have shot. But listen, we will lose more games this season. Exactly what Chris says down there. We will lose games this season. So there's no need to be downhearted. No, we're 4 games in. It's time to be realistic, okay? I don't even think we played bad today. I'm just looking at comments here. We played so bad. Rodrigo had the worst game I've ever seen. Thomas, you can trust me on this. Rodrigo has had much worse games than that. I think Rodrigo, I think his problem today was he got desperate to score. He was desperate to score. Again, Chris White. Chris, I thought I was jumping you on here for crying out loud, Mucker. He says it exactly right there in the comments. Brighton are a couple of seasons ahead of us in this Premier League. We're getting there. We are getting there. This year, it's not about pushing for Europe. Okay, yet we beat Chelsea. We are pushing for Europe. If you're in that mentality and mindset and genuinely think we should be pushing for Europe, I do believe you might be watching the wrong channel. Because I don't think this is when we should be pushing for Europe. I think this is when we should be consolidating and building a team that can maintain and stay in the Premier League without having to worry about relegation battles, without the pressure of we must qualify for Europe. This is when we build a stable foundation that keeps us in this league, so that when things do go tits up, if they ever do go tits up, we've still got a stable foundation to keep us here. But yeah, Sinisterra, I thought, done really well when he came on. I've seen one or two people calling him out. He was on the pitch less than 2 minutes, and he nearly scored. You know how he misses it. I'll be honest, I don't understand how that was missed. He flies straight in, he whacks into the post. Thankfully, he's not injured. That's, for me, that's a massive thing. I just don't want him to be injured. 10th, Stephen Tetley, thank you for the reality of this. And this is something I want of all our American guys that have joined the channel and stuff. I want you to remember this, is that we aren't a team right now that's looking for European football. We're a team that's looking to consolidate being in the Premier League. That's what we want. That's what we want. 10th and build squad strength, 100%. I'll take that. Thank you very, very much, lad. Paul G, we will never push. Let me see this. We will never push for Europe. We are a selling club, but Rads and Orta said this. Right, okay. I don't recall that. Where is I? There's my main man. There's my main man. Right, we're going to bring Chris Kelly in here. Chris, how are you, buddy?
Hang on, I'm just sorting my mic out. Just 1 minute.
Oh, right, I'll take you out. No, here. See you later. No, mouthing off. What's your deal? Just you give me a wee thumbs up when you're ready to come in. But yeah, look, did I see the Liverpool score? Someone said, yes. Who didn't see that? But I don't really care about that. I'm thinking about today. And today was a learning curve. Today was a learning curve, 100%. Chris, here before we go on, Josh, UFO, unidentified farting object, Leeds should focus, finishing 10th to 14th. 100%. At pre-season, I said 16th with a better goal difference, and that's a better season than last year. But right now, I do think 10th to 14th is achievable. Chris, how are you feeling after today, mate?
You know what I mean? It's the first half, especially, is a disappointing performance. Of course, it is. So, but yeah, we don't want massive overreactions to it. It's, Brighton, like I said in that comment, mate, Brighton are well ahead of us progression-wise in the Premier League. Potter's a very good manager. He's built a very good squad. I mean, if we thought we needed a striker, they're screaming out for one, aren't they? Because if they had someone who could put the ball in the net, they'd be knocking goals in all over the shop, because the build-up play through the middle's extremely good. So, we had a big win against Chelsea. We take one on the chin today against Brighton. It's just all about the reaction now. Let's go and put 4 past Everton and Fat Wank and make him cry again, and all's good. This is still a good start to the season. 1-2, draw 1, lost 1. What is my camera doing?
I just say that it doesn't recognise you, mate.
I know, it's like it's having a mad one, isn't it? Yeah. Again, if you'd have offered me probably 7 or 8 points from the first 4, I'd have said, yeah, okay, that's a good solid start. And I agree. Yeah. And it's a fan's prerogative to get carried away when, we go and slap someone like Chelsea 3-0 and everyone says, right, that's it, strike the band up, let's get excited. But, I'm just an average presenter on All Leeds TV, and I think we should, just chill. This is just about 3rd season consolidation now after scraping through last season. Top of the bottom half, somewhere around that this season is absolutely perfect. We can then have a bit more squad turnover next summer, improve again, and then we can start thinking around, bottom of the top half and stuff like that. It's a process. You can't just waltz into the Premier League and expect to own it. The first season back was a strange one. Bielsa's style of play surprised a lot of managers. they soon caught up. It was COVID. There was no fans in grounds, etc. So, you know, and then we had our eyes open last season. So everyone we need to just stay level-headed. We're still 5th in the table after 4 games. It's you know, it's
we are going to see people saying, "Oh, the European push is still on." But I like this comment here from D. Turley, Chris. A few days before the transfer window closes, that loss, that could be a blessing in disguise. You know, with Bamford out injured, with Sinister taking knocks here, there, and everywhere. You know, if we won today, surely again, as I'd said in pre-match, if we won today, that vindicates that Chelsea performance. And we go on, we're still winning. And the board's going to sit there and go, well, no, actually, we don't need to buy anyone. Do you think after today, they're maybe going, do you know what? We maybe do need a wee bit more. We're going to have to pump that money in. We're going to have to bring in people.
I think everyone knows we need a striker. Rodrigo started the season superbly until today. He was off it today. He was trying way too hard for me to get his goal. Got a bit selfish and a bit sloppy, but you know, we'll let him off a bad performance because he started off exceptionally well. Not everyone's going to turn up and be a 9 and a 10 every week. So, but we do need more strength there. We can't rely on Patrick Bamford and to play 20, 25 games a season. It just doesn't look like it's ever going to happen again, sadly. We do need a left back still. I mean, Pascal again has started the season really well there, but you know, it was seen today that he's not a proper left back. He's not a true left back. He was exposed at times. So yeah, maybe force it. I don't think we'll bring both in. I think we might bring one in. I'd love preferably a striker for me, because at the end of the day, you've got to score goals in this league. So I'd like to see a striker come in. It doesn't need to be. And again, people get carried away and think, oh, it's got to be a worldie and we've got to go spend, 40, 50 million. We don't. We need someone who's a proper number 9 who can get us 10, 15 goals a season, maybe. Happy that they won't start every game, because they won't. No one's entitled to as well. So, but we need that sort of 10 goals a season, number 9 who just hangs around in the middle of the box, knocking easy goals in. So, unfortunately, Alisson, up until him absolutely lighting the world up for Southampton recently, I'd have thought Che Adams would have been the one, but I can't see Saints letting him go now, personally, because I think he bagged a couple. He's bagged 3 and 4 or something like that now. So I don't know. Everyone just say, I think it's a bit of a hangover from Chelsea as well. You know, fans, we expected potentially a lot. I think the players were. It's not an excuse. They weren't good enough today. Brighton were the better side, but it's not a disaster either. It's not a disaster.
I know Steve Ben-Abrahams put it down perfectly. We lost, but it was only 1-0. It was only 1-0. You know, the way that would have went last season, let's be honest, that was nearly a Liverpool-Bournemouth score today. If that was last season, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say anything differently. But I honestly think, I think whilst there were some weak performances in the defence, particularly for me, I will single him out. Diego Llorente today went back to League One Llorente, as it was called him last season. But I think overall, you have to think Rasmus is still settling in, and he said it himself. That he was used to being involved in 20 goal scoring opportunities a game where he came from. So it goes to show the levels that these players are having to step up. Mark Roca as well today. He tried so hard but just couldn't get a grip of it. Tyler Adams, for me, pulled us out of lots of holes. Lots of holes. For me, Tyler Adams is probably our best player on the pitch. But yeah, defensively, despite the weaknesses, it was much improved, especially in the set pieces. Do you still get that? Oh shit, it's a corner. Oh shit, it's a free kick. Feeling like.
No, sadly today our offensive set pieces, attacking set pieces were poor, and they've been pretty good this season. But no, my arse doesn't fall out every time we concede a corner or a free kick anymore. And let's be honest today. And it's not, the result isn't based on the referee's performance, but he was absolutely honking today.
He was awful.
Awful. Doesn't change the result in any way. It doesn't take any shine off Brighton's performance. But yeah, he was dreadful, especially in that first half. But no, my arse doesn't fall out every time we concede a corner or free kick.
That referee's just come up to the Premier League, and he's from Lancashire. And personally, right, 3 weeks ago, the team I'm one of the coaches of came up against a referee who gave a goal against us because the goalie's feet were behind the line, despite the ball being in front of the line. That referee today is on par with that muppet. That's how bad he is. A friggin' 14-year-old, like, junior league referee. That's what he was. He's a Sunday league referee. He was awful today. But Chris, as you said, he didn't affect the result. No. I think the good thing is about this, as well as talking about, the last few days of the transfer window, is the positive I'm going to take from this is it might be a shot in the arm that the lads need, that you can't just roll from one good performance and expect to have another. You've got to put the work in. And I'm not questioning anyone's work ethic, but every game's different in the Premier League, and you've got to treat each one separately and start again at zero. So this might just be the wake-up call. Because for me, if we'd have gone and got a result today against Brighton, I'd have genuinely been worried about Tuesday. Because I'd have been like, wouldn't it be very Leeds for that muppet Lampard to roll into town and spoil a really good start to the season? Yeah. So, silver linings and all that. Yeah. Let's just hope the reaction's right. And I'm sure it will be. Jesse won't stand for what he watched today. You could see he was frustrated, both with the referee and some of our play in the final third. We had no cutting edge about us today. No. I love the way he went at the referee. I love that.
All the other managers do it. All the other managers do it, mate. Especially in the top teams, they're always in the fourth officials here. It might not be good to see from a sportsmanship point of view, but it has to be done. It's part of the game. Yeah. Part of the game. And I thought Jesse did that for one reason and one reason only, and that was to fire the players up. Yeah. See if he got a reaction. And we did get slightly better again, not without really creating much, but Cini should have scored, but he went with the wrong leg and then decided to mate with the post, bless him.
Yeah. God love him.
All right.
Post during 9 months.
I thought Ǩ𝐄𝐃 looked decent when he first came on. I thought he made a bit of an impact. Again, he's really big. It's going to be hard for ǩ𝐿𝐾 to get in this first 11, but he's really giving a show of himself to say, look, I'm not going away here. I've still got something to give.
I'd be interested to see what him and Adams would be like together from the start. Because him and Rock is very similar, but as you said, and we've seen it in the last couple of games, when ǩ𝐿𝐾's came on, he's made an impact. And he hasn't been making an impact for a while now. No. And now he is. So again, I'm just putting that down to the type of manager Jesse Marsch is. You've seen him, he puts the arm around the players, he's personal with them, and he's vocal. He's not sitting there just watching things and analysing it. He's getting up and he's giving them shit during the match. And I love that. I love that. I really do.
Yeah, I do as well, mate. I'm a big fan of it. And I think it sits well with the Leeds fans as well. That's the kind of person we want, for all those who have watched the dugout cam from the Chelsea game. That's the kind of manager I want. And again, that's me just reacting to how Jesse is. He's very American about it. There's no two ways about it. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And I like that, get involved. Exactly, mate. Get involved, be a part of it. He kicks every ball, he heads every ball. And I've got to call it out. My actual favourite moment of the game was Joffrey nearly taking Webster's head off with that shot. I thought it was brilliant.
He just
nearly wiped him out. We just went down like a tree. Didn't it? Brilliant.
I was waiting on someone shouting timber.
Yeah, mate, honestly. That's probably my only criticism of Jesse today is I think we should have seen Joffrey 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he took him off for the right person as well. I don't think Aaronson was at it today.
No, his making was a bit. I think he was another one who was maybe trying too hard, trying to force things.
I'm still looking at that. Whenever Sinister intercepted that ball from their left back, and he fit the ball Sinisterra fed through the Aaronson was delicious.
Yeah,
Aaronson should have took a shot
because
the way Sanchez was positioned and where Aaronson was, he was going to bury that. But instead, he tried to feed it across to Rodrigo, I think. And it's like, well, what are you doing? Just shoot. You're in there.
Yeah.
You know, there was a couple of wee decisions there. But
just fire it at the back post. But again, it's split second decisions, isn't it? It's not going to work every game. And like I say, fair Brighton.
There's a wee comment I've got here, Chris. And it's something I think people do need to realise this, because obviously we have a lot of new fans and a lot of new viewers coming from America, and Brighton is a very, very good side. I know you hear the name Brighton and Hove Albion. That's not a Premier League team. No, trust me, they are. They are. And they beat Scum. They just beat us. They shithouse teams. They play solid, reliable football, and we will not come up against another Brighton this season.
No.
You know, we will not see this type of game against Everton.
I would rather be facing a Scum or a Chelsea or a team like that than, I mean, maybe not Liverpool, who have walloped Bournemouth 9-0 today, or Man City.
They've just woke up. I think we're all in trouble. They've woke up today.
They have woke up today, Jesus. But I'd rather, the way we play football, rather be a Chelsea playing against a Chelsea or a Man United than a Brighton, who are very compact, very organised, playing nice little triangles around you. And I think the comment said, they don't have an out-and-out striker, but they score goals from third-man runs, like Elan's save early in the second half. That was a superb run and ball from Pascal Gross through to, I think it was Solly March.
Solly March,
who should be burying it, but it's Meslier does really well, stands his ground, closes the angles.
I almost feel bad for Solly March today, because he should have scored 2 or 3. And Meslier just was like, nope, not having it today, mate. 2 seasons he hasn't scored in the Premier League.
Is that right?
2 years? That's madness.
He's a good player as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's surprising. But yeah, there's, we knew this season would be a roller coaster. We called it in pre-season. Yeah. There will be ups. Again, for our new subscribers, many of them from across the pond, welcome. Supporting Leeds United is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing to do. I
have friggin' full long hair,
and mine's all grey.
Yours going?
I'm only 19 years old. This is what it's like supporting Leeds. One weekend you're up in the clouds going, did I just see that? It's unbelievable. The next week you're like, oh, I did just see that. That was not good. This is what it's like. Settle in, strap in. This is it. This is a United roller coaster. But yeah, it's no great shakes. It's a loss. It's going to happen. If we lose 1 in 4 for the rest of the season, then you can strike up the band for Europe. You know what I mean? So no biggie. Bit of a crap performance. Got better in the second half. Jesse will get a reaction out of them for Tuesday. I would now potentially expect a couple of changes. Not a mass amount of changes, but maybe a couple.
If you were to make for Tuesday, if you were to make any changes, what would you do, Chris?
I might give Pascal a rest from left back, and I'd actually push him into left centre back, and I'd have Leo at maybe left back. Yeah. And I'd have Cini in for Dan James. And I don't think Dan James did much wrong today. He was as ineffective as the rest of them up front, but I just think Cini's going to offer more, especially against a weak backline of an Everton side. So they're probably the 2 I'd make, mate. I don't, and it shouldn't be wholesale changes either. Jesus, it's 1 defeat and 4, but just to freshen things up, give a couple of faces a go, maybe.
Yeah. That's exactly the changes I'd make. I'd be having Pascal and Koch in the centre back. I
don't know what it is with Diego. Like, he started the season quite well, and then today he seemed to think he was Maldini at times, trying ridiculous stuff. Just stick to being a defender. Stop trying to.
He keeps going for these runs and then passing it too late, and you're like, what are you doing? You're a defender. Look for your options. Get it out.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah, I just we'll see. I've just seen someone saying Cine for Harrison. I wouldn't be. I understand the reason given as well to give Jack a rest, but I'd be starting Jack. But then maybe you can bring Dan James on the left
for Jack,
for Jack.
Yeah,
because Dan actually prefers playing down the left. I think that's where he plays for Wales a lot of the time and stuff like that. It's where he played for Swansea, and he was quite potent off the left. So maybe that's an option. But Llorente was sloppy today. Not the only one, but.
Yeah. Do you think with that loss today, do you think the next 3 games have just kind of upped a little bit in their importance of result?
I think the next game's important because of the next 3. We need to get a result against Everton, and a result at home is a win, not a draw. And then the pressure's probably back off the next couple. But we have got a decent little run of games now. I think, is it Brentford, obviously Everton on Tuesday, and is it Fulham? Am I right? No, not Fulham.
So with Everton at home, Brentford away, Forest at home, and then Scum at the Theatre of Nightmares.
Yeah. So the next 3 are, if we can take six points out of them, I think, again,
a win and 2 draws.
Just 5 to 6 points, a win and 2 draws, or 2 wins and a defeat.
Yeah.
If you just
as long as you don't lose to fucking Everton.
Yeah, that's the big one out of the next 3 for me. Brentford won't be easy. Brentford are a well-drilled team. Like the end of last season, that was just a mental game. They ended up down to 9 men and all the rest of it. So that they're, again, as much as I don't like their manager, I won't start ranting about him. I've said enough about him in the past. They are a good side.
The American subscribers and viewers might want to know about Frank Lampard. Why do we hate Frank fucking Lampard so much? It's not just because he's a fat wanker. It can't just be because he's a fat wanker, Chris. Is it because he took a shit on the Leeds changing rooms? I don't know.
It was just the whole his crying about Spygate, wasn't it? About someone stood on a public footpath with a set of binoculars watching training, and his whole reaction, and we do analysis too comment when he went to do his press conference, and then got their asses handed to them. Yeah. All right. They beat us in the playoff semi-finals, but I mean, that was another mental episode.
But that didn't work out too well for them because they got beat anyway, and now they're in League One.
Well, the thing is, mate, they didn't need to win the playoff final, did they? Because they'd had their cup final against us and won that. Yeah. So it is what it is. But there's just that animosity. I mean, I don't mind Everton generally. I think they're a proper club with proper fans. But while he's there, I completely despise them. And Neil Maupay going there is just up the ante a little bit because I can't stand him.
Because he's another wee wanker too. Oh God.
But I think. Get a reaction Tuesday, 3 points. This one struck off really quickly today. Yeah. It's like, right, okay, no bother. 10 points from 15, 2 points a game, 2 points per game. That's levels. That's good. That'll do. And then we can go into Brentford away, hopefully go down there. Maybe, that's when, if you get a win against Everton and then maybe you pick up a point against Brentford, you're like, that's a good solid point away from home. I'd have settled for a point today away from home at Brighton, who tend to stick it on us anyway. And then Forest at home, who knows? Yeah. Because, I mean, they've signed, about 353 players. So.
Oh, Jesus. I don't even know where they're going to play all these players.
No.
It's just, again, this is just more comments coming in of why people don't like Frank Lampard. His own wife doesn't like him. She sleeps in the spare room. I should know. I sleep in there with her. She's from Northern Ireland, like myself.
But it's and then it's the big one, isn't it? And I just hope we go there this season after the last 2 seasons to the Theatre of Nightmares and give a good account of ourselves because we've had our arses handed to us the last 2 seasons there. I'd like to think that Jesse's style of play and the way we press as a unit and not man to man will be more suited against playing them. I hope. Scott McTominay doesn't turn into prime Zidane like he tends to do against us.
Yeah. I don't get. I've spoken to a couple of Scum fans, and nobody understands how Scott McTominay does nothing for them all season, and then he turns into Messi against us. Yeah. He scored every time he played against us.
It's horrible, and we know that's the big game for us. It's
yeah.
When the fixtures come out, that's the first ones we look at. When home and away. Yeah. So I just hope, you know, and they weren't great today again against Southampton. They really weren't. They I mean, they did a job. They managed to scrape through 1-0 while not playing well. They're the kind of games you've got to win. But
Southampton should have had a penalty as well.
This Leeds team, and the way we press and work, can get at that Man United team. I've got no doubts about it. So fingers crossed. But we need a reaction Tuesday first, one game at a time.
Yeah, we do. We need to win this Everton 100%. But today's done and dusted. We've suffered our first loss. It was going to come at some point. I'd rather lose away to Brighton than at home to Everton. 100%. You know. But I think we'll call it there today, Chris, or do you want to keep going?
I'm not sure there's much else to say. Just thanks to everyone. I mean, the subscribers are flying up at the minute. It's thank you to everyone supporting the channel. Trust me, on days like today when we haven't gone and spanked one of the big 6 3-0, these things are a little bit harder to do. I was taking the day off, but I tuned into Scott starting and started commenting. I was like, yeah, go on, then I'll go in and see him. So yeah, it is what it is. But this is part of supporting Leeds United. Get used to it, folks. Those that have supported the club for years and years are well aware that's why we're all bald, grey, and on antidepressants and God knows what else.
Bald, grey, medicated. Heart attacks are irregular.
Yeah,
like I literally had a heart attack after a Wolves game two seasons ago. I had my heart attack was after a Wolves game. What the actual hell? It was not to do with a Wolves game, folks. But it was that's when I had it.
I've always said, mate, Leeds United will be the death of me. It will.
Yeah.
It will. I will keel over it. I will keel over in the cheese wedge and just go on my way one day.
No wearing your cheese wedge away t-shirt that looks like a man having a chuff. Listen, make sure you smash that like button for us today. And also check out, with no graphic for it yet, but check out our website. There's links below. We've got brand new USA themed merchandise starting to come out now. So make sure you pick yours up today, because we are the Leeds United States of America, aren't we?
Yeah.
Listen, thanks again for watching, and be sure to check out Oscar's post-match reaction. And I'll also have Armchair Fan Cam going up later on. And we'll also have Fan Cam. Tash and Jack were at the game today as well. So yes, thanks very much.
Latest taters.